everyone. Welcome to Texas City Tales, History Uncovered. I am Theresa Mayfield, your local history librarian and archivist at the Moore Memorial Public Library. And with me,
I'm Shelby Rodwell. I'm the curator over at the Texas City Museum.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, how are you today?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. I have a fun topic today.
Ooh, I like fun topics.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to talk about Charles Brown.
I have heard so much about Charles Brown. Yeah, I'd love to hear. What do you got?
Yeah, so Charles Brown, for those who are unfamiliar with him, he is a local legend. He is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer in the Blues Hall of Fame. Award-winning, Grammy-nominated, really fantastic, and he's from Texas City. And I think he's a part of our history that sometimes people don't realize, you know, how he had a huge contribution not only to local history and culture, but also to the music industry.
Yeah.
He's been cited actually as a major influence for Ray Charles, which I think is really, really significant. So just generally, Charles Brown, he was born in 1922. He began his career in music actually by playing at the Greater Barbers Chapel Baptist Church here in Texas City. Yeah. So I read so many interviews about people talking about just him practicing piano at his house or him playing at church and everybody just sitting around and listening to him.
That must have been interesting being in church and having Charles Brown sing to you.
Yeah. In one interview that you conducted, actually, that I listened to, it was really interesting. He just, the man was saying that, you know, it's crazy looking back that they didn't even know they were in the presence of a legend, that they knew there was something very special about Charles Brown, but they didn't realize just how far,
how special he was.
Right, exactly. So in around early 1940s, somewhere between 1942 and 1944, he ended up moving to California. Now, this was after he was also a chemist. He received his degree from Prairie View A&M University. In chemistry.
He worked as a chemist?
He did, yeah. For kind of a short time, he initially was a chemistry teacher. And then he moved to Arkansas to be a junior chemist. But he kind of discussed facing a lot of racism when he was working as a chemist. So he ended up chasing his dream to be a musician. And he went out to California right around the end of World War II. And around the end of World War II is when, you know, rhythm and blues really started to take off. So he was kind of in a perfect place for his talent to be really recognized.
We have a number of people talking about Charles Brown in our oral histories that we have. And one is that he had a pink Cadillac. Is that right? Yes.
So that's a funny, not funny story. So he actually talked about when he first moved to California, he got signed on with Johnny Moore and the Three Blazers. He actually won a singing competition at the Lincoln Theater in LA. And so he gained his spot in Johnny Moore and the Three Blazers. Well, one of his hit songs that he produced with them was called Driftin' Blues.
Okay.
And the sign-on rights for his initial work, rather than getting royalties, they offered him a pink Cadillac. And what he said is, he's like, you don't know what you don't know. So he accepted the pink Cadillac, but then Driftin' Blues became one of his most popular songs.
Oh, so he lost out.
So he never got royalties from it.
That's a shame.
But that pink Cadillac was so iconic down here. Whenever he'd come to visit family and he'd pull up in his pink Cadillac, everybody knew Charles is here.
They'd hang outside the house because they knew he was going to be playing music, and they all wanted to hear.
Yeah. If you haven't kind of dove into his music, I highly recommend it. He's so talented. He described himself more as a ballad singer, which I thought was really interesting because all of his awards and kind of the genre that he was put into by the music industry was, you know, blues or R&B. And he was like, I'm a ballad singer, and that's just the way that it comes out when I start singing.
There is one song, though, that I think a lot of people recognize.
Yeah, he actually also one of his most
Christmas
popular
song,
songs.
right?
Yeah, Merry
what's it
Christmas
called?
Baby.
Oh, Merry
there's
Christmas
there's a
Baby.
couple. Please Come Home for Christmas and the Merry Christmas Baby. Please Come Home from Christmas is probably his most popular Christmas song. Yeah, he got a lot of people, a lot of fans with his music. But then, so in the 50s, there was a shift in the music industry, right? Where rock and roll started becoming really popular. So R&B and, ballad type singing fell out of the popular mind, right? And not only that, Charles Brown kind of hinted that he might have been kind of blacklisted from the industry. He turned down a few shows. He talked about wanting to come spend time with his family, with his grandfather.
I see.
Right. And he didn't say exactly what shows. In every interview that I've read of his or listened to, he's so careful not to disparage anybody. But he turned on a couple of shows, and he says that he feels like he was kind of blackballed for a little bit. He had a couple of hits, like his Christmas songs that came out in between then and the 60s. Then he kind of fell into relative obscurity until 1990 when...
What happened? I mean, was there a shift in 1990 with music, or did something else happen?
So Bonnie Raitt, actually... I've seen her live. She's
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I love her.
She's fantastic. Charles Brown was a huge inspiration to her. She ended up tracking him down and asking for him to go on tour with her. And he jumped right on it.
Do you know how old he was when that happened?
He would have been, I think, in his 70s at that point.
Pretty old to go on tour.
Yeah, because he was born in 1922, so 1990. Yeah, so he was close to, almost 72. He continued to tour with Bonnie Raitt, and she talked about, how close of a friendship that they had. And he was able to introduce his music to a whole new generation.
So she was instrumental, Bonnie Raitt was instrumental in having him come up from obscurity. But what else did she do? Because I understand she did something really spectacular for him.
Yeah. So this would have been later. So he was nominated for a Grammy. Then he got a W.C. Handy Award. W.C. Handy is now known as a Blues Award. It was put on by the Blues Foundation, which is really significant. They inducted him into the Blues Hall of Fame, and that was in 1997. He unfortunately passed in January of 1999. But then after his death, Bonnie Raitt inducted him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I heard. That's fantastic, right? I mean, how amazing for him, for his career, for his legacy. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a
went
shame.
all the way for him.
Absolutely. And she talked about a few different times just how close friends that they became. Which I can't, how fantastic is that to be able to not only meet they always say don't meet your idols. So how fantastic is it to not only meet your idol? You've never heard that?
I want to meet my idol.
Yeah, no, you've never heard that?
No.
It's this idea that if you idolize somebody, and then if you meet them, they may disappoint you.
Not meet your expectations.
Exactly. They may not meet your expectations. But Bonnie Raitt not only met her idol, but ended up becoming great friends with him. And so they helped each other's careers.
Yeah.
Right? Because not only are, old timers seeing him come back, but new generations who love Bonnie Raitt got introduced into his music.
Yeah, so rhythm and blues sort of came back around again later on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame that he wasn't around for his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. But in the last, decade of his life, he was able to go back to doing what he loved on a wide scale. Yeah. Which is truly fantastic. We have a few different things at the museum. We have...
What kind of things do you have at the museum?
We have a bunch of fun. I've been trying. We have a bunch of fun stuff. So we have a few of his touring jackets that he wore while he performed on stage.
Sparkly?
We have a couple of sparkly ones.
Okay.
We have one that he wore for his birthday celebration with Jimmy Scott, Ruth Brown, Bonnie Raitt, all, music legends. We actually have one of his W.C. Handy Awards.
Oh, how did you get that?
Donations. Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing museums always rely on.
Same with archives.
Yes.
Hint.
Hint. And right now we have a temporary exhibit. We have a permanent display of some of his items year round, but now through March 14th, we do have a room dedicated to Charles Brown and his legacy. And you can come see some of those items and hear some of his music.
Ooh, how did they hear their music? His music? Is there a little
Yeah, so if you don't look too closely, you won't see that I have a whole audio setup underneath a table.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, not to kill the magic on where it's hidden, but.
What are the museum hours? What are your museum hours?
Yeah, we're open Tuesday through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Last ticket sales at 3:30.
No,
Yeah.
You got to get out there before March
14th. That'll be the last day.
Yeah, get out there before March 14th.
Mm-hmm. Or any day during the year, because like I said, we do keep
Right.
a permanent display of, one of his performance jackets, his platinum record.
Oh, well, I heard that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Well, wow, that's fantastic. I can't wait to go visit.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we love talking about all things history. So if there's anything else that anybody would like to hear from us, if there's any topic that you're super interested in, let us know in the comments. And then, we'd love to.
We'd love to parse that out a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dive into some history so that,
Yeah.
I love research. Research and history are my two favorite things.
Oh, me too. And if you have any favorite Charles Brown songs, let us
Share in the
know.
comments.
I'd love to hear it. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in to Tech City Tales History Uncovered. And be sure to make it down to the museum to see some of Charles Brown's artifacts.
Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye, baby. Baby, bye bye, bye bye.